Hi everyone, I'm Fred Nelson from Craven Tenor Guitars. Thank you very much for stopping by today. I appreciate your time and I appreciate the opportunity to introduce to you the Michael August Belle Larenne. Before I get into the guitar itself, I just want to lay out the background of the design itself, where it came from, and what makes it a very unique guitar in the resonator community. Anybody who's followed Craven Tenor Guitars know that I spend a lot of time doing research and development before I even go to a prototype stage. I focus on the characteristics of a particular type of guitar I'm designing, meaning the types of woods that were used, scale lengths, consistencies of the combinations of wood that were used in the guitars themselves, because sometimes they varied from year to year in some cases. Okay, enough of that. Resonator guitars from approximately 1900 to around 1925 were mainly played by musicians who played Hawaiian music. Now that Hawaiian music isn't the Don Ho Pearly Shells music that we hear played in tacky lounges and tiki bars. I'm talking about orchestrated Hawaiian music of pre-state Hawaii. So, you know, it was really symbolic of a period of not only beautiful music, but, you know, the pre-commercialization of the state of Hawaii. It wasn't until the late 1920s, early 30s, that blues players started picking up the biscuit cone style resonator and really embraced them as their type of music. But at that time, of course, Hawaiian music had started to wane and become more folk type music. Resonators of the day. There was a period up until about 1929, 1933, depending on the stories and the research that I'm able to find. The internal structure of the guitar itself was a wooden sound chamber. By 1933, manufacturers started using it was basically a metal insert, a metal ring that, you know, they would carve a hole in the top and drop this ring, almost like a hubcap, down inside that ring. And that allowed them to have a place to mount, you know, drop the cone down into. It was way less expensive than crafting a wooden sound hole. The plus was it made the guitars less expensive to create and allowed them to mass produce those guitars and make them readily available in the marketplace. The drawback is it changed the tone. Instead of having a warm and loud voice, it became more brassy and metallic, because now the cone itself is sitting in a metal ring. I wanted to go back to that original sound that's a little bit warmer, yet still boisterous and resonate. The other thing that I looked at was the shapes of the guitars of the period, and of course what's available today. And when we look at it, there's some pretty standard size shapes in particular. There's the brass body. There is the parlor shape, which is a little smaller guitar. It's usually made in wood and it's made in brass. The triangular size, which is either a single cone or a triple cone. And of course the teardrop shape as well. What I wanted to do is to look at the guitar itself in a different fashion. You know, one of the most popular tenor guitars is the O-body shaped flat top guitar. And one of the things that make them so popular is not only the fact they were played in the 1950s by the Kingston Trio, but their size. They're incredibly comfortable to play. They're incredibly loud for their size. and generally they're just a very pleasing guitar to play. So, you know, I wanted to look at that, and also the fact that their scaling as well. Their neck length is much shorter. It is a 23-inch scale, making it very comfortable to play. You're not reaching far beyond like you are on a 6-string in order to create your chords and play the guitar itself. A 23-inch scale is much more comfortable to play. So taking those items into consideration, I started to develop the Belle Larenne. We hit an obstacle, and that was, how do you place the wooden sound chamber in the guitar when it's being crafted with precision? It takes a jig, and I'm not going to show the jig because it is proprietary, and we had to design it and develop it during the process of creating the Belle Larenne. What it does is it allows us to position that sound chamber perfectly within the guitar itself while it's being crafted. It's not crafted by machine, it's all crafted by hand, as always with all Craven Tenor Guitars. So let's have a look at the Belle Larenne. You know, first of all, woods. The Belle Larenne is a solid mahogany front, sides, and back. So it is a robust sounding instrument. Up top, you'll see that we have the Stradivari holes. You can see a true tailpiece that is for a tenor guitar. It's not a 6-string tailpiece. Those are custom manufactured for Craven Tenor Guitars. Our volume and tone controls knobs are from a 1930s Zephyr radio. They're phenolic, they're not plastic. They are a quality instrument device that you would have found on 1950s Zephyr radio. Trying to keep up with the needs of today, the abalone that you see on the neck itself and in the headstock comes from an ethically sourced abalone farm. That farm produces abalone as a food source first, and the abalone shell itself is a byproduct. It is just as beautiful, and it's ethically sourced. Okay, let's have a close look at the headstock. The headstock, as you can see, has got La Belle Larenn. Our open tuners in back are obviously adjustable. They're golden color with the black knobs. The binding on the neck itself is an antique ivory to give it a little bit warmer tone itself. You'll find that the fret marker is on the 10th fret. The abalone inlay, again, on the body itself, is ethically sourced abalone with the ivory binding on the sides. Again, we'll look at that tail piece. That tail piece itself is an exact reproduction of the dobro style tailpiece of the time, but it has been reshaped to be appropriate for a tenor guitar rather than a 6-string. And in doing so, it keeps with the 1930s look, and yet is appropriate for a tenor. Your scale itself is a true 23-inch scale, not 25.5. It is a true 23-inch scale. So this is a true tenor resonator guitar. Sounds of the internals as well. As I say, this is a true Delta Blues biscuit cone rather than a spider cone. The spider cone you'll find used from the 1950s and up to today has found its place in country music. It has a different sound completely than what you get with a biscuit resonator. The biscuit cone resonator is what you find in true Delta blues type music. So really what you have is a true gentleman's resonator guitar. And I have been asked why it is as ornate as what it is for a resonator, because you think resonator guitars being you know, the rough and tumble look, they're often not very pretty. They are what they are. But let's go back again to that period. Let's go back to the 1900s. We're going back to the days of Art Deco. We're looking at great big orchestras rather than just a single player, or you know, a player with a bass player and a drummer playing. Yeah, you had things were a lot, we'll say, prettier back then. You know, so that is again what I wanted to emphasize with La Belle Larenn. Another couple of things to follow up on, of course, is being electric. It has got the Telecaster style pickup, so it really becomes very loud when you plug it in. You can control the volume, you can control the tone. The Belle Larenne comes in a shock-proof case rather than a hard shell case to protect your investment. That's really what makes the La Belle Larenn a unique and beautiful instrument. And I can't wait to be able to hand this over to Michael August to be able to play for you. And those of you who do not know Michael August, and I don't think there's many in the music industry, in the tenor guitar world, that don't know who he is. But Michael is an incredible human being who shares his passion for music with anybody who wants to learn, who wants to expand their practical experience, who wants to gain confidence. He is a passionate person who's motivated to share his love with the music community. And it's hard to find people who are that giving today. And that is why La Belle Larenn carries Michael August's name. So I look forward to having Mike share some music with you very, very soon. Thanks so much for stopping by. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you enjoying music in this day to day. So enjoy your family and friends while you have them. Stay safe. Thanks so much. Enjoy your day.